Hi, my name is Simon with AutoRABIT, and today we're going to create a CI process using custom labels. For that, under Projects, we go to Create a Project, give this a project name, add a description if we like, and then we can also add functional modules for functional test cases, which we can create with an AutoRABIT, but we will cover this in more detail at a later time in a different video. Here you can see we have several selections we can do for CI processes and the scope that we would like to have for each of them. In this case, we are fetching changes from a version control system like Git. We select the repository, the name of the branch, a start revision if we like, as well as the user of the repository. And once we have done this selection, we have post-build activities, where we can email ourselves and our peers or email mailers upon success or failure of this CI process. And we can also decide to trigger an additional project upon a successful build. Then here in the deployment section, we select the deployment org, and again we have post-deployment activities, very similar to the post-build activities, where we can email upon success or failure, and we can also decide to run a data loader process after a successful deployment. Then again we decide where to run the code coverage. In this case we run it in the deployment org and save the process. Once done, we are going to the Salesforce Org Mapping. This will enable us to do easy commits. So for that we are using the we are deciding on the source control, the repository name and the branch, and save this, and now we have a logical connection between the Salesforce org and the version control. Now we are able to use easy commits. In this feature, we can now select the org we just mapped, as well as the Salesforce user, which is a developer, and then get all the changes for this specific developer in that Salesforce org by clicking on Fetch Changes. Even if there's more than one developer in that org, no problem, we are fetching only the changes of the person we selected. Then we can cherry pick or select all of the components and then commit those to version control. In addition, we're able to add custom labels. This custom label will enable us to commit several times using the same label, therefore logically grouping those. For example, for a user story or a bug fix. Then we're going to click on commit and execute, and now we have completed the commit to version control. Now we can go back to the CI process under the Home tab and then execute this as a build, and we can run code coverage here as well. Then select the label type we just did the commit for. As you remember, it was the CI job label. We can add an additional check and comment to this if you wanted to. We can also add a comment if we like, and then execute. Now that this is executing, you can see the build is successful, the deployment is successful, and we had an 89% code coverage, meaning we're all good to go. This is how easy it is to use AutoRABIT within CI using a label.